Good day everyone, Francis Swanepoel here from Fusion BIM. Today we are looking at the installation process and the components that is available for installation in your Archicad project, in particular the Prostar Paint BIM library for Archicad 26 and 27. This is version 2 with some added features from the previous version. Referring to the previous version, there is a demo video on the link on the screen at the bottom that you can then review to understand how this library works in your project and the different components that make up the library and how you use it on your model elements, and then also how you do your outputs in terms of schedules, labels, and the information specification information. Just to recap, the BIM library for Prostar Paints consists of the attributes, the properties that will drive your keynotes and your labels, and then the schedules that are set up for output, in particular for the Prostar Paint information and specifications, and then the installation video and training guide. So your typical paint surfaces schedule, which will give you the particulars of these paint colors with their RGB colors, their names, their codes, and then also the areas. Added to version 2, you've got a full specification report where you'll see the paint used on each element in the model and the paint specifications, the description, the full specification, the application areas, the categories, and so forth, and again the areas. Your outputs, apart from the schedules, is then also the labels, various labels that is set up in favorites for you to just double click and then attach the label to bring up the information as shown in the different label types, which can work then in your plan view, elevations, sections, and also a 3D document format that you can see here. So that is the basic setup of this BIM library for Prostar Paints, and now I'm going to go into the process of bringing up a clean project. This is a standard Archicad template, and the components that we will bring into the template is the favorites. This is going to the folder that you get with your download. So with your import components, you'll get the attributes. Those are the surfaces and the building materials, and then your favorites, that is then set up to drive your labels, and then the various schedules, element schedules and surface schedules. So these are the components that you'll import to your template or to your current Archicad project that you're working on, and we'll be doing this in Archicad 27. So first things first, it's good practice to bring in the attributes first before you bring in the schedules, otherwise the schedules will be calling for certain aspects and parameters that is not available yet. On the surfaces in Archicad, you'll have your standard or your template surfaces, and then the same with the building materials, and we will be adding to these two types of attributes. So you'll just use the import button at the top right, browse to the folder that you've downloaded and extracted. It will be a zip file, and here is the folder. Go to for import, and we want to import the attributes. You select the Prostar Paint attributes XML file, and you just want to load that and bring it into Archicad. It'll take a few seconds to load. This warning comes up about the classifications that comes with the building materials. You can just continue. Remember to always have this tick box active for include all attributes, associated attributes, because as you may remember, surfaces has a sub attribute that fills, and then also the building materials has surfaces as a sub. So you want to have this tick box active so that you can bring in everything that is interlinked with one another. So on the right hand side where you've imported these new attributes, you select them all, and I suggest that you use the by name to append these additional attributes to your file. If you are using a specific index number workflow, then you'll make your choice accordingly, but just be aware that when you go by index, you'll be overwriting existing attributes in your file which may not be desired. So just add them by name, and they will just append new index numbers, not mixing with. Okay, just click the OK button and confirm to apply. Once that's loaded, you can just go back to your attribute manager, and then you will see in the surfaces, sort them by name, and you'll see the Prostar Paints with the PRO prefix altogether here in the surfaces, and sort by name again. You'll see the Prostar building material. Once your attributes are installed, you then go to your navigator on project map and just go to element schedules, right click and bring up the scheme settings. Now you are looking at your schedules, the element, component and surface schedules where they are set up, and you'll use the import button here. It will go back to the previous import folder, and now you'll just go down to your schedules, go to element schedules. You can select multiple schedules at the same time and just bring in those schedules by the import function. Again, go to the import and then go to the surface schedule folder, select them all and bring them in, and you'll see they'll be added to your project in the element schedules and surface schedules. When you load these schedules, they'll be empty at the moment. There is no project model yet, but you'll see then that these schedules are all pre-set up to bring in the data fields related to those surface finishes that's set up for the Prostar Paint library. You can then save your project and carry on with your modeling, and these schedules will populate as shown in the demo video.